Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to teach you guys how you can teach the Epik textbooks or the Korean public elementary school textbooks. Today I'm going to focus on the 4th grade YBM textbook, but you can use a lot of these same games and teaching techniques for 5th and 6th graders as well. As an Epik teacher, you will be teaching 4 main things: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So let's look at the first page. So usually when you teach with the co-teacher, you'll most likely only be teaching 2 pages. For this class, you would only be teaching page 10 and 11. For my co-teachers, some of them wanted to only teach the textbook and then they would give me 20 minutes to play a game. Or some of my co-teachers wanted me to teach, from the textbook and then make my own game. It really depends on your co-teacher and what they want you to do in each class. So let me show you guys how you can teach the textbook. The first thing I like to do when I get into class is to play the chant. And playing the chant just gives me extra time to set up my game, open up my PowerPoint, get the textbook ready, especially since I had to travel from class to class. Playing that chant as soon as I came into class just gave me that extra prepping time that I needed, and it helped introduce the students to the words that they would be learning in the lesson. So after listening to the chant and getting everything ready, I would greet my students and then tell them, okay, open your book to page 10. We're going to do look and listen today. Are you ready? So for look and listen, there's usually an animation clip you can play. Sometimes it'll be split up into 4 sections if it's for 3rd and 4th graders. For 5th and 6th graders, it should be 2 sections. I would tell my students, okay, everybody listen very carefully, and I will ask you, what did you hear? After the animation finished playing, then I would say, you guys, team A, you are team B, you are team C. It kind of makes it into a competition to see which students were paying attention. And so whoever raised their hands, I would say, what did you hear? They would try to guess the sentence like, I like cookies. Okay, team A, you get 1 point. What else did you hear? And then the other students would say, oh, my name is Sally. Good. Team C gets a point. So after a minute or 2, if they can't remember what they heard, then I would say okay, let's listen one more time. Ready? And then play the animation clip again. And then when it finished, same thing. What did you hear this time? So you kind of just do this process throughout the whole animation. After listening and guessing, then we just repeat the entire dialogue together as a class. And then we move on to the chant, listen to the chant again, and learn it line by line. For the chant, what you want to do is first let your students listen to the chant and kind of get the rhythm down first, and then after that you can practice it line by line. The students need to practice the words and sentences first before you have them sing. The next part is a listen and do. This section is really easy. You just have them listen to the audio clip and then choose the correct answer. Since this lesson is a listening section, you can make a listening game. And a really easy listening game to do is just to print out pictures and put them on the board. And then students will just touch the correct answer. I like to split up my class into 2 teams, team A and B, and give the students a number. You're number 1, you're number 1, you're number 2, you're number 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And then when the game starts, number 1, come to the front. Okay, listen carefully. And then I will say maybe basketball. And then whoever touches the basketball picture first, they get the point. And next student come up. Ready? I like cookies. And then whoever touches I like cookie pictures first, then they get the point. To make it a little bit more fun, what you can do is put the pictures around the classroom and then have them go and find the picture and grab it from the wall. Okay, so we have our next page here. This is a look and say section. So this lesson is focusing on speaking. When you start class, just ask the students who do you see? What characters do you see? What are their names? Where are they? What are they doing? And just ask them those basic questions, and then, okay, let's listen to the animation. Let's start. And after you play the animation, then again, same thing. Ask students, what did you guys hear? What were they talking about? And then see if they understood. Then there's usually 2 questions to answer. Just check those questions and then move on to the next part. So on this page, I usually skipped a lot of stuff. I would just do the look and say, and then we would go ahead and just go to the next page, which is the song. And the song is just a little bit longer than the chant. So kind of same thing. Listen to the song first and then practice line by line and then have the students sing the song. And if you have a lot of time left in your class, what you can do is have students sing the song separately. So maybe boys sing at one time, girls sing it another time, or teams can sing different sections. So here is a play section, but again, I never use the textbook games. I always just made my own games. And this is period 2, so it's focusing on speaking. I'll tell you one speaking game example that you can do. It's really easy. A speaking game that my students really love was called the King game. So what you can do is just make 5 levels. Like, just imagine like a shape of a triangle. The bottom is one sentence, and then second is another sentence, and the top is another sentence. You can just write like 5 key expressions, and you can even use like maybe the chant or maybe the sentences from look and say. So how do you play this game? What you want to tell the students is that everybody starts at level 1. So everybody hold your finger up, level 1. And then this is level 2, this is level 3, level 4, level 5. So everybody start at level 1. Everybody stand up and go around the room and talk to your friends. First, if you're level 1, you say level 1 sentence. So level 1 sentence might be like, hello, my name is Sally. Hello, my name is Sally. Rock, scissors, paper. The winner moves up to level 2. They have to meet a level 2 student. And if you lose, you have to meet a level 1 student again. The idea of the game is to move up the levels, and they move up into level 5, and then level 5 will be against teacher. So if you're the teacher, you stand at the front of the class, and then students will line up and try to beat you. And it's good to have your co-teacher help you, because having all of those kids come and play rock, scissors, paper is really exhausting. Some students come to me, some students go to your co-teacher, and you'll say the level 5 sentence like, I like eggs, and then rock, scissors, paper. And if they win, then they can sign their name on the board. And then if they want to play again, they can start again and play at level 1. You have to be careful with this game, because sometimes the students won't say the key expressions. Like, they'll just play rock, scissors, paper, rock, scissors, paper. You have to make sure that they're actually saying the sentences. Okay, so this section is read and write, and the first part is reading. So what you want to do is just read all of the sentences with your class, and you can even call on students to read or have volunteers who wants to read all of the sentences. After you finish reading, then go to the writing part and just give your students a few minutes to write all of the words. And then the next part is matching. Again, just give them a few minutes to match. And then for the rest of the class, I usually just do a writing kind of game. A really fun and easy writing game you could do is like a relay writing game. So for this, I usually divide my class into 2 teams, Team A and Team B. And again, I give my students a number. You're number 1, you're number 1, number 2, number 2, number 3, number 3. And all of the students should have a number. And if you have uneven kids on the team, so if you have 12 kids and 11 kids, then just have the number 1 student also be number 12. So that student will just go 2 times. Have them make 2 lines. So Team A, stand up, make 1 line. Team B, stand up, make 1 line. You'll say number 1, come to the front. Number 1 should have the marker first, and make a PowerPoint with the sentence. Just show the sentence on the TV screen and then say ready, set, go. And then number 1 will write, it is sunny, and then they'll pass the marker to number 2. It is sunny, pass number 3. It is sunny, pass number 4. It is sunny. So this is like a relay game to see which team can write the sentences fast. So what I usually do is I just let them write on the big blackboard, and they just use like the chalk and write. When the last student writes the sentence, you will check all of the sentences. Are they spelled correctly? Are there no errors? Can you read it? And if everything is good, then that team can get the point. What I usually let them do is I have like a big dice, and then the fastest team, they can roll 2 times for their points, and then the other team, I'll allow them to roll the dice 1 time. So the last section in the lesson is the Storyland section, and this is a role play section. Do the checkup first. So you'll have them listen and answer the questions, and then after you complete the checkup, you can start the Storyland. What you want to do first is have the students listen to the animation. So usually the animation will be like a story, like 3 Little Pigs, but it'll be using that lesson's key expressions. After you listen to the animation, then again, practice those sentences with the students. You want to practice line by line and have them repeat, and have them try to memorize those sentences. After a few minutes of them practicing, then you want to give them a piece of paper with a script of all of the sentences and split them up into teams, maybe 6 teams if you have 24 students, and give them like 5 to 7 minutes to practice those sentences with their group. There should be about 3 or 4 characters in each storyland, and the team, they should decide like what character they want to be. And I usually just set a timer, and then they can practice with their own team on like how they want to act and how they want to role play. So after the kids have their group practice, then I will have them come back and sit down, and we will practice the sentences one last time all together. So just listening and repeating to the animation. And then after that, I will have them present their role play to the class. So you can just choose like whoever's group wants to volunteer first, come to the front, and then they will just do their little like 2-minute role playing, acting out for the class. Alright guys, so that was kind of a very quick look at the 4th grade textbook. Hopefully you guys got some helpful ideas and games from that. 5th and 6th grade textbook should also have similar like lessons, so you can apply like those games to your older students as well. What I do want to say for my 5th and 6th grade classes is that I do add something differently. So instead of using chants, what I usually do is use a tongue twister or an idiom. Since the students are a little bit older, they don't like to sing and they don't like to chant. So what you can do is use a tongue twister as your warm-up. For the tongue twisters, you can just make them shorter and easier depending on your students' capabilities. And it just helps them to practice like clearer pronunciation. So how I teach my tongue twisters is first, on my PowerPoint, I will introduce the vocabulary words, like if it's I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, then introduce like what does scream mean, like what does ice cream mean, and then after that, then I will tell them the tongue twister. I will say like ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, and after you say it, then you want to practice with the class like word by word. So I, you, scream, and then go a little bit faster. I scream, you scream, we scream. Just like build up to going faster and saying the whole sentence. Usually during the 2nd semester of the school year, I will change to idioms. So idioms you can teach are like cool as a cucumber. For the warm-up, I will introduce the words cool cucumber, what does it mean, and then say the idiom to them. Have your students guess what the meaning means, and you can have your Korean co-teacher help you. You can just explain the meaning and then practice the idiom in class together. Alright guys, so that was just a quick overview of how I've taught my Epik lessons in the past. If you guys have any more questions about how to teach from the textbooks or anything about Epik, please feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be making more videos about my experience as an Epik teacher and about my life in Korea. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.